Okay, we know today is our presentation day. Are you ready, all of you? Yes? Say loudly. Yes, okay. So first I request Abrar. You just say the story. Okay.
Last Sunday, I went to bed at 9 p.m. and slept a very sound sleep. But I woke up at about 1 a.m. When I heard a hue and a cry at a little distance. I wake up from my bed and rushed to the spot where I saw a cottage was burning. People was rushing towards it. Old woman and a poor little girl were stuck in it, and they were shouting and crying for help, and they couldn't come out. People were throwing water continuously at the burning cottage, but nobody dared to get inside the burning cottage. At last, I requested a brave young man to rescue the old woman and the little girl. My eyes were full of tears then. The young man looked at my eyes and once again and looked and rushed back towards the cottage. And when he came out with the old woman in his back and the little girl by his arm. I thanked God and I was very happy what the noble deed the young man did. It will be a treasure in my memory for a long time.
Excellent, great. Now, okay, Wasi.
Last Sunday I went to bed at 9 a.m.
And everyone keep practicing, please. Then?
Last Sunday I went to bed at 9 p.m.
Okay.
At the middle of night I woke up because I heard hue and cry. Then I go to the escort and
Then I went. It's all about past tense.
escort and see that a cottage was burning. Everyone was rushing
Towards the spot.
Escort. Everybody was throwing water in the cottage, but nobody dared to go to the cottage. A old lady and a young woman or young child
Were there.
were there. They are crying for help. Nobody dared to go and help there. Lastly, I requested a young brave man to help there. Then he looked at me and then suddenly he went to the cottage and rescued them. I felt thanked and I am very grateful for the noble deed by the young man.
And it will be treasure in my mind for a long time. Thank you, Wasi. Thank you. Now, Tamim, what are you doing? Okay, Tamim, start. Okay, start. Start. No, start. I'm recording. It's recording.
Last Sunday, I sleep at 9 p.m. Then I sleep a sound sleep. And I sleep a sound sleep. Suddenly I woke up at 3 a.m. and I heard hue and cry at a little distance. I got up from bed and ran to the spot. People were rushing towards it. It was a burning cottage. The old man and the little boy couldn't come out from it. They were crying for help inside the cottage. But everybody was throwing water in the cottage, but nobody dared to enter the cottage. At last, I gathered a lot of courage and went to rescue them. I thanked Allah and God and felt very happy to rescue them. It will be a treasure in my memory.
Excellent. Big clap for Tamim. Okay, what's he say?
Hello everyone, today I will give a presentation about a party house. So, last Friday I went to bed at 11 p.m. Then I slept a sound sleep. Then I woke up at about 3 a.m. at night and heard a hue and cry at a little distance. I woke up from bed and ran to that spot. I saw that a building was
Please keep quiet. Everyone listen to words.
burning. People are rushing to that burning building and throwing water in that building. I was also throwing water in that building. Suddenly I saw kid was still in that burning building. Everybody throwing water in that burning building, but nobody dared to go inside that burning building. Then I requested a brave young man to help that kid that is inside the burning building. My eyes were full of tears. Then suddenly that young brave man looked at me once and then he rushed to the burning building. See, I was crying that will he come back with his safety. Then I saw that suddenly he came out safely with that kid by his arm. I thank God that he came out safely with that kid and it will be present in my life.
Thank you. Excellent, Wase. Warish, not Wase. Okay, now Ishan, start. Say loudly.
Last
Okay.
Sunday, when I was sleeping, I woke up at around 1 a.m. and heard a hue and cry at a little distance. I ran to the spot and saw a cottage was burning, and there were a little girl and a
And everyone, you can read the news article. Okay.
little girl and old lady who lived there was in there. Everybody was people
Trying to
were
rescue them, but
tried to rescue them, but nobody dared to enter the house. Everyone was throwing water to the burning cottage. Lastly, I asked a young brave man to rescue them. He looked at me and suddenly
he rushed into the
he
cottage
rushed into the cottage
and they helped.
and
He
came-
helped them.
He helped them and came with the little girl by his arm and
Okay.
the old lady
On his back.
And I thank God, and it will be a
Treasure in my mind for a long time. Thank you, Ishan. Now Arafat, say loudly. Okay.
Last Sunday I went to bed at 9 a.m. And sleep and sound. Suddenly I woke up. At about 1 a.m. When I heard a hue and crying at little house. The little distance I got up from
Don't
bed,
see that shit.
bed and ran the cottage, burning cottage. People rushing towards it. The woman
Look at me. Okay.
people throwing the water cottage.
Then Arafat, you need more practice. I think you didn't read properly. Okay. So now Abir.
Last Sunday I went to bed at 9 p.m. Sleep with the sound sleep.
All of you read the article from the newspaper. Okay.
At about 1 a.m. Little distance. Like going up,
Spot. Okay, thank you, Abir. And another Abir. Okay, say loudly.
Last Friday,
And what's your school's name?
my school name is Evershed.
Everest. Okay, start.
Last Friday, I went to bed at 11 p.m. Suddenly, I woke up at 2 a.m.
Okay.
when I heard the shouting and lot of sounds. Then I woke up and I ran to the spot. I saw that the cottage was burning. People were rushing towards it. The old woman and a little poor girl who lived in it cannot come out. They were crying for help from the cottage, but everybody was throwing water to the burning cottage, but there was no one to dare inside the room.
Then after
Then,
that?
at last, I requested a brave young man to rescue them. My eyes were full of tears. Then he looked at me once again, and suddenly he rushed into the cottage. He came out by holding the little girl and the old woman
On his back.
on his back. I thanked to God, and I was very happy to see the noble deed of the young man. It will be a treasure in memory for us.
Okay, thank you. And who is left? Who is left? Rajjo and Ohi and Abrar. Abrar Sena. Quick.
Today I'm going to tell a story about the house on fire, so let's get started. Last Sunday I slept at 9 p.m. and I slept a sound sleep, but I suddenly woke up at 1 a.m. and because I heard a hue and cry from a little distance, I got up from my bed hurriedly and went to the spot. I saw many people were rushing towards it because there was a cottage burning.
You don't see the answer,
In
Wasim.
the cottage, there was an old woman and a poor little girl who lived in it, and they could not come out from the burning cottage. Many people were throwing water, and I was also one of them. But nothing was happening because the fire is not taking extinguished. But lastly, I requested a young brave man. My eyes were full of tears. He looked at my face once again and he suddenly rushed to the burning cottage. Although no one dared to enter the room, but he rushed to the burning cottage and lastly he rescued the little girl and the old woman. And I thanked to God and felt very happy for the young man did, the noble deed the young man did.
And it will
This
be treasure.
It will be a treasure in my memory for a very long time.
Okay, thank you. Tanvir say quickly.
On Sunday, I went to bed at 9 a.m.
Then Ohi.
9 a.m. and slept a sound sleep. Then I woke up at around 1 a.m. because I heard some cry at the distance. I rushed to the spot. I saw the cottage was burning. A young poor girl and an old lady used to live there. They were trapped in the house. They were crying for help. Everybody was throwing water in the cottage, but nobody dared to enter it. Then I requested a young man to rescue the woman, the child and the woman. My eyes were full of tears. He looked at me once and rushed to the spot. Suddenly he came out from the cottage. In his hand, there was a little girl, and his back, the old lady. I was so happy. It will be present in my mind for a long time.
That's it? Okay, thank you. Rajjo say, Rajjo. Who is released now? Rajjo say.
Last Sunday I went to bed at 9 p.m. and slept a sound sleep. Suddenly I woke up at about 1 a.m. When I heard a hue and cry at a little distance, I got up from bed and ran to the spot. I saw that a cottage was burning. People were rushing towards it. The old woman and the little girl who lived in it could not come out. They were crying for help. Everybody was throwing water on the burning cottage, but nobody dared to enter the room. At last, I requested a brave young man to rescue the old woman and the poor little girl. My eyes were full of tears. He looked at me once again and suddenly rushed to the cottage. He came out with the little girl by his arm and the old woman with his back on. I thank God and feel very happy for the noble deed the young man did. It will be a treasure in my memory for a long time. That's all for today.
Okay, after doing this, we will do the grammar. You have to take the essential book and chapter 26 maybe, unit 26. Okay, now Ohi say, quick.
On Sunday, I went to bed at 9 then I slept sound sleep. But suddenly I woke up at 1 a.m. and when I hear
You and cry.
you and cry, I in little distance. Then I went to the spot and everybody threw water in the. Everybody threw water in the
Cottage.
burning cottage,
Okay.
and then nobody dared enter the room. But at last I requested a brave young man. Then
Okay.
he rushed into the room and
Help them. Okay.
helped them. And I thank God. I thank God and I felt very happy for the young man did it.
It will be treasured
Treasure in my memory.
for
For
long time. Very good. Excellent, Ohi. Excellent. Ohiর জন্য একটা big clap দিব. And then Aradha. Am I right? Aradha, yes. Start. Say loudly. No one can hear you. Okay. I'm making video. No, you need more practice. You didn't read. Now, Ritika. Shostika. Okay, your sister's name is Ritika. Okay. Shostika, say loudly. And then last one is Sabab. Okay, be ready.
Last Sunday I went to bed 9 p.m. 9 p.m. slept and sound sleep, and I woke up around I heard you cry lift at little distance. People were rushing towards.
Everyone take your book, essential book, and try to read out the left page. Left page ta pori amra.
There were women and two little girls who could not come out. They were crying. Help for outside in the cottage. Every day, last at night, breaks a young man, woman, and poor little girl. Then at last I
requested.
throwing the water into the cottage, rushing into the cottage. My eyes full of
Cheers.
full of
Okay, you
tears
need more
and-
practice, not bad. Okay, better than before. Now Sabab, last one.
Last Sunday, I woke up at 9 p.m. And sleep a sound sleep. At nearly 1 p.m., I woke up to hue and cry. I rushed at a nearby spot. I rushed out there and saw a cottage was burning. Everyone was rushing with water, but no one dared to go in. There was an old woman, and a little girl was stuck there. Then I
Requested a brave young man.
a young man. He looked at me, and once again he rushed out there to save the little girl and the old woman. At the time he got out, The little girl was by his side and the old woman was at the back of the young man. I thank God, and it will be a treasure to my memory.
Thank you, Sabab. Very good. Okay, our presentation is done.